Hello, everyone. I am back from vacation. I missed you all. Did you miss me? So we went on vacation and then we came back. We had family and then we had our 10-year anniversary celebration. So, yes, it's just been busy. I'm back. I just want to share with you all our vacation. So, we did three islands, the French Polynesia islands. So, we did Tahiti, we did Moorea and Bora Bora. And one thing I really like about it is that we stayed in the Overwater bungalows. But before I get started and talk about a little bit about that, so I just want to share with you the dress that I have on. I got this dress in Tahiti, and I got the earrings in Moorea. So, just want to keep with the vacation feeling and, why I talk about this trip. It was just a really nice, relaxing vacation. And yeah, so let me tell you all about it. We flew from St. Louis to San Francisco airport. And while walking through the airport, I thought it was neat looking at this robot make coffee. So our stay at the San Francisco, where our layover at the San Francisco airport was only supposed to be like 2 hours, but we had a delay, so we ended up having to be there 6 hours, which means we wouldn't get into Tahiti until after midnight. So we did take advantage of the lounge that they have at the airport. It is awesome. If you haven't been to one of the airport lounges, it is the way to go. It makes your layover much easier, and it's comes with business class. And so yeah, they had a lot of snacks. I didn't get a picture of everything. And then we flew business class, first class to Tahiti, and that was an 8-hour flight. So anything over a certain amount of hours, we go ahead and get the business class where the seats can lay into a bed. Truly awesome, great experience. You need to experience this if you have not. Then we made it to Tahiti. Some people had to get right off the plane and run to catch a cruise. We couldn't believe that a cruise was leaving after midnight. But yeah, they made it. When we got to Tahiti, we had to rent a car. And we made it to our bungalow, like I said, after midnight. But check out our over-the-water bungalow in Tahiti. Isn't it beautiful? What is it? Yelling? What is it again? Yelling? Alala, yelling.
Bonjour.
Alana. We don't try to pronounce it. Alana. They're going to be looking at us like, what? Olena?
Olena.
Olena. Olena. While being on all three islands, we did learn how to say hello in their language. The landscaping and the scenery, everything was just beautiful. Now we're heading to do a little sightseeing on the island. You don't see anybody getting in. Oh, is it raining?
It's just dripping water from above. We have had a rainy week.
We did go to the smoothie place downtown, and the smoothies weren't that good. And we also went to the museum while we were there. Okay, don't laugh at us. The water here was probably about 17 feet deep, and we're not the best swimmers, so we had our life jackets on, and we still didn't want to let go of the ladder. But I did get in. My husband just did take a video of me, so that's why we have the life jackets on. We are heading to breakfast, about to leave this island, and we spent most of our time at the resort because a lot of places close early on the island, so we did get to see some live entertainment and everything while we were here, so that was nice. And then we took the stairs to overlook the ocean. Okay, we returned the rental car and now we get to take the ferry over to the island of Moorea. Where you want to go? I love this one. We made it to the island of Moorea and now we get to rent another rental car from Avis. So Avis was our place to rent cars for all three islands. At this resort, we didn't stay in the over-the-water bungalow, but we did stay at the beachfront bungalow, and this was really nice as well. One thing I liked about all the three places that we stayed is that they gave us a personal tour of the place and walked us to our cabins or our bungalows. It was so sweet of them to come to the room and give out a Mother's Day gift. I really enjoyed the cookies and the wine. Okay, today we're heading out. We're getting ready to go see the island on some four-wheelers. This is our first time actually doing four-wheelers, so I'm excited. Of course, we had a few stops while we were riding on the four-wheeler. This one we stopped and he was telling us about the tree. The leaves smell like lemon. I don't know what the name of the tree was. It wasn't like a lemongrass, but the leaves smell like lemons. And also he was telling us about how they grow the pineapples there in Moorea. It takes 2 years to grow one pineapple.
Yep. Press it and smell where. Yeah. Take one leaf. One leaf. Yes. And then you fold it in the middle. And then you smell. It's getting great. said smell and she found this. The little berries. It's like, okay, he's going to get some berries.
I finally got my coconut water. In Tahiti, we went everywhere, the grocery stores, everywhere looking for coconut water. And it was nice to have some here and fresh. There you go. You get more. You get more. Go. Yeah, this was my first time ever in my life floating on my back. I've always wanted to do it. It was so nice and relaxing.
I was wondering. Yeah, it's a non-profit organization. We don't have a shelter for stray animals, so they just roam around and then the non-profit takes care. Very important, a fruit tree, because again it will provide, and that's what we need on such a small island. We need some nature that can provide, and so every child will have a tree linked to its birth, and will have the same age as the child.
I like it.
The one I talked about, they have only 4 cups left, so you have to either share or fight. Vanilla coffee, you have espresso.
That was an Airbnb that it's across the street up the hill.
Yeah.
And so we
And you said next to the supermarket?
Right after the supermarket.
Oh, that.
Now we are heading to Bora Bora. So we have to take a flight and then also a ferry to get to the island of Bora Bora.
destination is on the left.
This was my favorite over-the-water bungalow. I loved everything about this one. It was just simply beautiful. And did you see the table in the middle of the room? Just beautiful. Do you see the fish? Yes, you can tell I really enjoyed this table. We got an email while we were on the other island telling us about a couple of the bungalows that had caught fire, and we got to see the damage while we were here.
Then just come down and put your face in the water where it's up to eye level and just see if you can breathe through there. Just squat straight down. Yeah, like that.
Okay, just breathe. I'll hold my breath.
Breathe through your mouth. Or start breathing through your mouth before, even while you got it in there, and then slowly come down.
Okay, hold on. I ain't got this.
I really loved how shallow the water was. I mean, you could literally walk way out in the ocean. We had to get a picture in under the coffee table. Here's some of the places we ate at and also did some sightseeing on the island.
Make it the first two.
Watch
Finish
you.
that
Right.
one.
Sorry, I played that one.
It's okay. Just the one.
Thanks for watching.